Every single day, millions of you fill your shopping carts with familiar products, thinking you know exactly what you're buying. But behind those colorful packages lie production processes that would make most shoppers think twice before making a purchase. We are going to look at 20 popular food items and show you exactly how they make their way onto your store shelves. Let's start with number 20 on our list, Belvita breakfast biscuits. These popular breakfast cookies, a staple in many American households, cost around $5 for a single box. The marketing presents them as a wholesome and healthy way to start your morning. But here is what truly goes into making them. The production process begins with refined wheat flour, which is then mixed with a variety of sugars. Then the really interesting part begins. The manufacturing process utilizes hydrogenated vegetable oils, which have been chemically altered through partial hydrogenation. This involves forcing hydrogen gas through liquid oils under high pressure with a nickel catalyst, a process that creates the trans fats linked to heart disease. During the high-temperature baking process, these oils undergo even more chemical changes, altering their structure in ways your body finds difficult to process. The final product is loaded with modified starches, artificial flavors, and emulsifiers, all designed to extend its shelf life to many months. Studies have shown that regularly consuming products with hydrogenated fats contributes to atherosclerosis, the hardening of your arteries. That convenient biscuit, advertised as a healthy choice, is actually filled with industrially processed fats that your body struggles to even recognize. It's a far cry from the wholesome image portrayed on the box. Now, let's move on to number 19, Kraft Single. These perfectly square, individually wrapped slices of cheese from Kraft cost around $4 per pack. They melt so beautifully on burgers and grilled cheese sandwiches. But there's a reason for that perfect melt, and it involves some surprising chemistry. The production process starts with only small amounts of real cheese, which is typically lower quality leftovers from other cheese-making processes. This cheese base is then melted down and blended with emulsifying salts, specifically phosphates and citrates. These chemical compounds work to break down the protein structure of the cheese. This allows the mixture to blend smoothly with added water, oils, and milk proteins. The entire concoction is then heated, processed, and extruded into those familiar, uniform shapes. In the United States, these items cannot legally be called cheese and are instead labeled as a pasteurized, prepared cheese product because the actual cheese content is simply too low. The phosphates found in these slices have raised concerns among researchers studying kidney function. That signature artificial smoothness you know so well comes from completely dismantling natural protein structures and then reassembling them with the help of industrial additives. Number 18 takes us into the world of Armour Star Pâté. This canned meat spread, which costs anywhere from $3 to $5, appears in countless American lunchboxes and pantries. Its unnervingly smooth texture is a dead giveaway as to where it really comes from. The main ingredient is mechanically separated meat. This substance is created by forcing animal carcasses after the primary cuts of meat have been removed through powerful sieves under enormous pressure. The bones, with any remaining tissue, cartilage, and connective tissue still attached, are all forced through the screen together. The resulting paste contains ground-up bone fragments, collagen, and any tissues left over from the initial butchering. This pink slurry forms the base of the canned meat spread. Manufacturers then mix in organ meats, fat, spices, and binding agents. The mixture is cooked, blended until smooth, and sealed in cans, where it can remain shelf-stable for years. Laboratory analyses have revealed that many of these cheap meat spreads contain less than 20% actual muscle meat. The rest is made up of mechanically recovered tissues, fillers, and water retained by phosphate additives. Coming in at number 17, we have Kellogg's Corn Flakes. A box of this classic breakfast cereal costs between $6 and $8 in most supermarkets. The manufacturing process is far more industrial than most people realize. It starts with corn grits, which are mixed with sugar, malt flavoring, and this mixture is cooked under pressure and then passed through massive rollers that flatten each individual piece. The flakes then travel through ovens, reaching extremely high temperatures. This high-heat toasting process creates a food with a high glycemic index. When you eat these flakes, your blood sugar spikes dramatically because the processing has broken down the complex carbohydrate structure. Studies show that eating high glycemic index foods for breakfast leads to energy crashes and increased hunger within just a few hours. The added sugar, often making up 15 to 20% of the total weight, contributes to this blood sugar roller coaster. Food testing organizations have also identified various preservatives in these breakfast cereals. Number 16 brings us to Coca-Cola. A 2-liter bottle of this famous beverage costs around $2 to $3. The sweetening system tells an important story. Most Coca-Cola produced in the United States uses high fructose corn syrup. This substance is derived from corn that has been processed through multiple enzymatic reactions to convert its glucose into fructose. The production involves treating cornstarch with alpha amylase, then glucoamylase, and finally glucose isomerase. A single large bottle can contain the equivalent of over 40 teaspoons of sugar. Your liver processes fructose differently than other sugars, and excessive consumption has been linked to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and insulin resistance. The carbonation adds carbonic acid, contributing to the erosion of tooth enamel. Caramel color, phosphoric acid, and natural flavors complete the ingredient list. That refreshing taste comes from a precisely engineered combination designed to trigger a pleasure response in your brain and keep you coming back for more. We're now at number 15, the classic Hershey's Milk Chocolate Bar. This iconic brown-wrapped chocolate bar might seem like a simple treat, but a large 7-ounce version can cost you between $4 and $5. Its creamy texture has made it a favorite across the country, but the ingredient list holds a few surprises. Traditional chocolate uses cocoa butter from cocoa beans to achieve its smoothness. Many mass-produced chocolates substitute palm oil for some or all of the cocoa butter. Palm oil is dramatically cheaper. The production of chocolate involves mixing cocoa mass with sugar, powdered milk, and vegetable fats. Everything is refined by gigantic rollers and then conched or continuously mixed for many hours. The addition of vegetable oils changes the melting properties. Natural cocoa butter melts right at body temperature, which gives high-quality chocolate its signature smooth, melt-in-your-mouth feel. Products made with palm oil substitutes have different characteristics. Palm oil contains a lot of saturated fat, and its production raises significant environmental concerns. That chocolate that tastes so delicious might contain far less actual cocoa than the marketing suggests. Number 14 is a popular brand of olive oil. A bottle of extra virgin olive oil can cost you anywhere from $20 to $30. People buy it for its heart-healthy reputation, but the olive oil industry is hiding some uncomfortable truths. Studies show that as much as 70 to 80% of olive oils labeled extra virgin don't actually meet the real standards. The fraud works in a few different ways. Some producers mix small amounts of real olive oil with cheaper soybean, sunflower, or canola oil, then add chlorophyll for color and artificial flavors to mask the difference. Others sell rancid olive oil that has been deodorized through a refining process. Chemical tests conducted by food safety agencies have caught major brands selling these adulterated products. The extra virgin label is supposed to signify that the oil was cold-pressed from fresh olives without any chemical processing. However, enforcement remains weak and testing is expensive. That pricey bottle you bought might just contain processed vegetable oils disguised with flavorings, delivering none of the Mediterranean diet benefits you were hoping for. Moving on to number 13, Dannon Fruit Yogurt. These small cups of fruit-flavored yogurt from Dannon can cost between $2 and $4 each. Parents often pack them in school lunchboxes, thinking they're providing a healthy, protein-rich snack. But the manufacturing process contains an ingredient that might surprise many consumers. Gelatin is used as a thickening and stabilizing agent in many fruit yogurts. This substance comes from a very specific source: the bones, skin, and connective tissues of pigs and cows. The production involves collecting these byproducts from slaughterhouses and boiling them for extended periods, sometimes for days, to extract the collagen. Eventually, the collagen breaks down into gelatin, which is then dried and ground into a powder. In yogurt, this powder creates that smooth, slightly jiggly texture that holds the product together. The process itself is perfectly safe from a food safety perspective. Collagen is a protein, and it is digestible. However, many people simply don't realize this animal-derived ingredient is in what seems like a simple dairy product. For vegetarians, vegans, or individuals with religious dietary restrictions, this hidden ingredient creates a significant problem. Gelatin often hides under technical-sounding names on ingredient lists. That fruity, creamy snack marketed as a healthy treat actually contains processed animal tissues, sourced from parts of the carcass that would otherwise become waste. When you're checking the label, be on the lookout for terms like collagen protein or animal-derived thickener. Coming in at number 12 is Boar's Head Deli Ham. A 10-ounce package of sliced ham from Boar's Head can cost anywhere from $7 to $10, and it's a staple in sandwiches and salads everywhere. But the curing process involves some chemistry that's worth understanding. Almost all commercially produced ham is treated with sodium nitrite, often labeled as E250. This compound prevents the growth of bacteria, particularly the deadly Clostridium botulinum, and it gives the ham its characteristic pink color. Without nitrites, cooked pork turns a dull gray. The problem arises during cooking. When nitrite-treated meat is heated, especially at high temperatures, the nitrites can react with amino acids to form nitrosamines. Research has classified processed meats containing nitrites as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means there is sufficient evidence that they cause cancer. The World Health Organization has placed processed meat in the same category as tobacco when it comes to cancer classification. Every single slice of that pink ham contains these preservatives, which undergo unsettling chemical reactions when heated. Next up, at number 11, we have Breyer's Vanilla Ice Cream. A standard carton of Breyer's Vanilla costs between $4 and $6. Its famously creamy texture hides an interesting secret of mass production. The industry uses a measurement called overrun, which quantifies the amount of air churned into the ice cream during the freezing process. Budget-friendly ice creams can contain as much as 50% air by volume. You're literally paying for frozen air. The manufacturing process involves pumping the ice cream base through machines that force air into the mixture as it freezes. More air means more volume from the same amount of ingredients. Premium ice creams, on the other hand, have a low overrun, which makes them denser. You can actually feel the difference just by comparing the weights of two different cartons. Beyond just the air content, the ingredients tell another story. Stabilizers like carrageenan and guar gum are used to maintain a smooth texture, while emulsifiers prevent ice crystals from forming. You'll rarely find natural vanilla flavor because real vanilla is incredibly expensive. Instead, manufacturers often use vanillin, which can be synthesized from lignin, a byproduct of the paper industry, or even from petrochemical precursors. At number 10 is Hellmann's mayonnaise. A 15-ounce jar of this popular mayo from Hellmann's costs between $4 and $6, and it shows up in sandwiches, salads, and dips across the country. The manufacturing process is essentially an industrial-scale version of what you might do in your kitchen, but with a few key differences. Traditional mayonnaise is a simple emulsion of oil, egg yolks, vinegar or lemon juice, and some seasoning. The commercial versions, however, add preservatives to significantly extend the shelf life. Potassium sorbate and calcium disodium EDTA are common additives you'll find on the label. Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, or EDTA, specifically serves as a chelating agent, which means it binds with metal ions that could otherwise cause the oils in the mayonnaise to go rancid. The eggs used in commercial mayonnaise are typically pasteurized and heavily processed, sometimes appearing as a powder instead of the fresh yolks you'd use at home. The oil is usually soybean or canola, chosen primarily for its low cost and neutral flavor rather than any nutritional benefits. Large-scale production involves precise temperature controls and high-speed mixing to create incredibly stable emulsions that can last for months on store shelves and in your refrigerator. With regular consumption, these preservatives can accumulate in your body. That creamy sauce on your sandwich contains layers of chemical stabilization that fresh, homemade mayonnaise simply doesn't need. The distinct difference in taste between fresh and commercial mayonnaise comes, in part, from these very industrial processing techniques. And that brings us to number 9, Blue Harbor Fish Company Smoked Mackerel. This vacuum-packed smoked mackerel from Blue Harbor Fish Company costs between $8 and $12 for a 7-ounce package. Its golden brown color and smoky aroma might make you think of traditional smoking methods, but modern production often takes a very different path. Many commercially smoked fish products actually use liquid smoke instead of real wood smoke. Liquid smoke is created by burning wood chips and capturing the resulting smoke in condensers. The condensed smoke compounds, including various phenols and carbonyls, are then dissolved in water to create a flavoring solution. The fish can be dipped in, sprayed with, or even injected with this liquid. Afterward, the fish might be briefly exposed to real smoke, just to create the appearance of a traditional smoking process. This means the fish may only spend a few minutes in a smoke chamber instead of the hours or even days required for genuine smoking. This shortcut saves an enormous amount of time and money for manufacturers. Health concerns center on benzopyrene, a compound formed during combustion that is present in both real smoke and liquid smoke products. Benzopyrene is a known carcinogen. Although regulations limit the levels of benzopyrene, regular consumption of smoked products still contributes to your cumulative exposure over time. That beautiful, smoky-flavored brown fish fillet might have been chemically flavored and briefly gassed, rather than being carefully smoked over wood for an extended period. Around 40% of commercially smoked fish utilize this liquid smoke process. Number 8 is Nestle Nesquik cereal. These chocolatey cereal puffs from Nesquik cost between $5 and $8 a box. Kids absolutely love the taste and the iconic rabbit mascot on the packaging. However, the manufacturing process behind them raises some serious nutritional questions. Production begins with corn flour and wheat flour, which are mixed with sugar, cocoa powder, and a variety of additives. This mixture is then cooked, extruded into its signature sphere shapes by industrial machinery, and toasted at very high temperatures. The sugar content in these cereals often reaches a staggering 30% by weight. This means that nearly 1/3 of what your child is eating for breakfast is pure sugar. The high-temperature processing creates the same problems with blood sugar spikes that are seen in other heavily processed cereals. Food testing has also uncovered various preservatives added to maintain crispness and prevent the product from going stale during its months on the shelf. Palm oil frequently appears on the ingredient list, adding those problematic saturated fats. The chocolate flavor comes partly from cocoa, but artificial flavors are often used to amplify and extend the taste. The marketing of these products specifically to children has drawn widespread criticism from health advocates around the world. The colorful box, the cartoon mascot, and the intensely sweet flavor all work together to create brand preferences that can last well into adulthood. What appears to be a fun, harmless breakfast treat actually delivers a metabolic blow of sugar and processed carbohydrates, setting kids up for energy crashes and intense cravings long before it's even time for lunch. Coming in at number 7, we have Mott's Apple Juice. A 1-liter bottle of apple juice from a brand like Mott's can cost anywhere from $3 to $5. Parents often reach for it, offering it to their children as a supposedly healthier alternative to carbonated soft drinks. However, the production method, which relies on concentrate, reveals an extensive industrial process. Freshly picked apples are pressed, and the resulting juice is heated under a vacuum to evaporate most of the water content. This creates a dense, thick concentrate that is significantly cheaper to store and transport than regular liquid juice. This concentration process requires temperatures around 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which unfortunately destroys many of the heat-sensitive vitamins and enzymes. The concentrate can then be stored for extended periods, sometimes traveling across the globe before it's reconstituted in bottling plants. Once at the bottling facility, water is added back to the concentrate to restore its liquid form. The juice is then pasteurized at even higher temperatures, around 185 degrees Fahrenheit, in order to kill any bacteria and extend its shelf life to many months. This second heating stage destroys even more of the remaining nutrients. Any vitamins you see listed on the final product's label have often been added synthetically after the fact. The natural enzymes that help with digestion are completely destroyed in this process. The sugar content in apple juice frequently rivals or even surpasses that of cola, but it lacks the essential fiber that whole apples provide to slow down sugar absorption into the bloodstream. What gets advertised as a natural fruit juice is often just a reconstituted concentrate with some vitamins added back in, delivering a significant sugar hit without the nutritional benefits of eating real, fresh fruit. At number 6, we find Nescafe Instant Coffee. A 7-ounce jar of Nescafe Instant Coffee typically costs between $10 and $15. The sheer convenience of just needing to add hot water has made it a staple item in kitchens all across the world. The manufacturing process, however, transforms the humble coffee bean through intensive industrial processing. It begins with the roasting stage, which usually involves using cheaper Robusta beans rather than the higher quality Arabica beans preferred for fresh brewing. The roasted beans are then ground up and brewed in enormous industrial-scale percolators, using water heated to approximately 480 degrees Fahrenheit under extreme pressure. This aggressive extraction process pulls out everything soluble, including compounds that would never dissolve during normal, at-home brewing. The resulting concentrated coffee liquid then has to be dried. Two methods are common: spray drying, where the liquid is blasted through a nozzle into chambers with air superheated to nearly 400 degrees Fahrenheit, or freeze drying, which involves freezing the concentrate to negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit and using a vacuum to turn the ice directly into vapor. Both of these processes are extremely harsh on the coffee and significantly alter its chemistry. The high temperatures create acrylamide, the very same concerning compound found in fried potato chips. The beneficial antioxidants and volatile flavor compounds are also severely degraded during this intense processing. Studies have even shown higher levels of mold contamination in instant coffee compared to whole bean coffee, largely because the processing allows for the use of much lower quality beans. What conveniently dissolves in your morning mug is a heavily processed product that bears little resemblance to a carefully brewed cup of fresh coffee made from whole beans. Coming in at number 5 is supermarket honey. A 14-ounce jar of wildflower honey from a major store brand like Great Value can cost between $5 and $7. For millennia, honey has been prized for its natural antibacterial properties and health benefits. However, the modern honey market has a serious, widespread problem with adulteration. Investigations by consumer protection agencies have revealed that around 20% of supermarket honeys show clear signs of fraud. This adulteration process involves mixing real honey with much cheaper corn syrup, specifically high fructose corn syrup. Producers then heat this syrupy blend, add artificial flavors to mimic the taste of honey, and adjust the color using caramel coloring. This fake honey blends seamlessly with real honey, making it nearly impossible to detect without sophisticated lab testing. To further cover their tracks, some products undergo ultrafiltration, a process that strips out all the pollen. Since pollen allows investigators to trace honey back to its geographical origin, removing it is a convenient way to hide the fraud and make verification impossible. The heating required during this processing destroys the natural enzymes and antibacterial compounds that make raw honey so beneficial. A jar labeled pure honey can actually contain a significant percentage of industrial sugar syrup with no declaration on the label. A natural, wholesome food that people have harvested from beehives for thousands of years has now become just another target for food fraud, with cheap sugar syrups hidden inside and sold at the premium price of real honey. Number 4 is margarine, like country crock. A small 8-ounce tub of margarine costs between $2 and $3. For decades, it was marketed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter. The production process, however, involves some rather unsettling chemistry. Margarine production starts with liquid vegetable oils, typically palm, canola, or sunflower oil. To make these oils solid and spreadable at room temperature, manufacturers historically relied heavily on a process called partial hydrogenation. This process forces hydrogen gas through the oils at high pressure using nickel catalysts, which converts some of the unsaturated fats into saturated ones. The nasty byproduct of this partial hydrogenation is trans fats, which studies have unequivocally linked to an increased risk of heart disease. Trans fats raise your bad cholesterol while simultaneously lowering your good cholesterol, creating the worst possible combination for your cardiovascular health. The World Health Organization recommends zero consumption of artificial trans fats. While many manufacturers have reduced or eliminated trans fats in recent years, the replacement processes often involve fully hydrogenated fats blended with liquid oils through a process called interesterification. This creates different fat structures whose long-term health effects remain less studied and understood. The margarine is then mixed with water, emulsifiers like soy lecithin, salt, vitamins, and colorings to achieve that buttery appearance consumers expect. What began as a cheap butter substitute has gone through numerous chemical reformulations, each one solving one problem while potentially creating others. Coming in at number 3 are Lay's potato chips. A family-sized bag of Lay's will set you back anywhere from $3 to $5 in practically any grocery store or gas station. They are one of the most popular snacks in the entire world. But the manufacturing process creates something deeply unsettling beyond just the fat and salt content. It all starts with potatoes specifically chosen for their high starch and asparagine content. The potatoes are sliced into thin wafers and then deep fried in oil at temperatures between 340 and 375 degrees Fahrenheit. During this high temperature frying, a chemical reaction occurs between the asparagine in the potatoes and the sugars that are present. This process, known as the Maillard reaction, is what creates that signature flavor and color. It also creates acrylamide, a compound classified by health authorities as a probable human carcinogen. Tests have revealed acrylamide levels in potato chips reaching as high as 1,000 micrograms per kilogram. Shockingly, studies have shown that eating a standard-sized bag of chips can deliver an acrylamide dose equivalent to the exposure from smoking cigarettes, causing a significant spike in inflammatory markers and bad cholesterol. The frying oil itself is often palm oil-based, adding saturated fats into the mix. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, frequently appears in the flavored varieties to enhance taste and potentially drive you to eat more than you intended. The salt levels alone can contribute a significant percentage of your daily recommended intake in just one serving. This crunchy, salty, impossible-to-stop eating snack delivers a dangerous combination of carcinogenic compounds, saturated fats, and enough salt to put a strain on your kidneys over time. Number 2 brings us to block cheese, like the kind from Kraft. A standard block of Kraft mild cheddar or Colby cheese, weighing between 7 and 17 ounces, will run you anywhere from $5 to $10 in most major supermarkets. Cheese has been a dietary staple for centuries, made from the simple ingredients of milk, cultures, and rennet. The modern cheese industry, however, has found ways to cut costs that significantly alter the final product. Food quality inspections have repeatedly uncovered cheese adulteration involving palm oil. Manufacturers replace as much as 20 to 30% of the natural milk fat with cheaper vegetable oils, primarily hydrogenated palm oil. This palm oil is blended in during processing, creating a product that looks and to some extent tastes like real cheese, but has a vastly different fatty acid profile. The labels might vaguely state vegetable fat or simply fat without specifying the source. Powdered milk, soy proteins, and modified starches are sometimes added to bulk up these cheaper products even further. The term cheese product or analog cheese appears on some of the more honest labels, but many products hide their true nature behind clever marketing. Palm oil contains high levels of saturated fat, specifically palmitic acid, which has been linked to elevated cholesterol levels and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. American food safety authorities have also expressed concerns about contaminants generated when palm oil is refined at high temperatures. What looks like a traditional block of cheese might actually contain industrial fats from tropical plantations instead of wholesome milk from local dairy farms. And now for number 1 on our list. Oscar Mayer hot dogs. These ubiquitous packages of wieners from Oscar Mayer cost anywhere from $8 to $12 in almost any supermarket and convenience store. They cook up in minutes, are a huge hit with kids, and make an appearance at countless family dinners and backyard barbecues. But the production process begins with something called mechanically separated meat. Here's how the production of mechanically separated meat works. After the valuable cuts of meat are removed from an animal's carcass, the remaining bones still have tissue clinging to them. These bones, whether from chickens, pigs, or cattle, are fed into machines that force them through cylindrical sieves under immense hydraulic pressure. Everything that can be squeezed through becomes mechanically separated meat. This includes the remaining muscle tissue, fat, connective tissue, blood vessels, nerve tissue, and inevitably, small fragments of the ground-up bones. United States Department of Agriculture regulations require that mechanically separated meat contain a minimum of 12% protein, a maximum of 20% fat, and up to 70% water. The resulting pink paste bears no resemblance to the meat people picture when they read chicken or pork on the label. Quality tests conducted by food inspection agencies have found that many budget-friendly hot dogs contain as much as 80% mechanically separated meat. This paste is then blended with more fat, salt, phosphates to retain water, nitrites for color and preservation, starches for binding, and a host of flavoring compounds. This mixture is then emulsified into a uniform paste, stuffed into casings, cooked at a temperature between 158 and 176 degrees Fahrenheit, and frequently treated with a liquid smoke flavoring instead of being genuinely smoked. The phosphates in these products help retain all that added water, which means consumers are ultimately paying meat prices for the weight of water. The nitrites, while preventing the dangerous growth of bacteria, create nitrosamines when the hot dogs are grilled or fried. These are compounds that have been linked to an increased risk of cancer. Studies from major nutritional research institutes have tied the regular consumption of processed meat to a greater risk of colorectal cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. This convenient, familiar food that people serve to their families